Hello guys, let's study about lacrimal apparatus, anatomy, parts of tear film, and most important, mechanism of tears. Now coming to the anatomy of the lacrimal apparatus. Lacrimal apparatus contains first lacrimal glands, second and the passage system. The passage system contains puncta, canaliculi, lacrimal sac and also nasolacrimal duct. Now coming to the each structure in detail. First the lacrimal gland, which is enclosed by levator palpebrae superioris. In between the two parts, orbital part and the palpebral part. The orbital part is in size, shape and color. In size and shape, it seems to be like almond shape, and the palpebral part contains only 1 to 2 lobules. It's not much large. It's so small. There are 10 to 12 lacrimal ducts. Now coming to the lacrimal punctum, which is round oval. It is present in lower eyelid as well as upper eyelid. As you can see here, the lacrimal canaliculi joins the punctum to the lacrimal sac, and there is one valve known as valve of Rosenmuller, which is guarded it prevents the reflex of tears. Reflex of tears is prevented by valve of Rosenmuller present near the lacrimal canaliculi. Lacrimal sac. The lacrimal sac is formed by, its size is about 10 to 12 mm in length, and in breadth it's about 5 to 6 mm with 2 cubic millimeter volume. There are 3 parts. This is the fundus part, this is the body part, and this is the neck part. The neck part forms to become nasolacrimal duct. Now coming to the nasolacrimal duct, which is 15 to 18 mm long, opens in the inferior meatus of the nose. It opens downward, backward and laterally. There is a valve guarded, which is known as valve of Hasner. It prevents reflex from nose. As remember, this valve of Rosenmuller will prevent reflex of tears. The valve of Hasner will prevent reflex from the nose. Now coming to the lacrimal gland arterial supply. It is supplied by the lacrimal artery, branch of ophthalmic artery. Ophthalmic artery is a branch of internal carotid artery. It also contains serous acini. It is similar to the salivary gland. And the accessory lacrimal glands are glands of Cross, glands of Wolfring. Now coming to the sensory part, nerve supply of the lacrimal gland. Sensory part will be supplied by fifth nerve, which is trigeminal nerve. Sympathetic is by cervical sympathetic chain, brain. From pons it will go to the petrosal nerve, pterygoparietal ganglion, zygomatic nerve, lacrimal nerve, and then the lacrimal gland. This was the anatomy of the lacrimal apparatus. Now coming to the tear film and its function. Now coming to the there are 3 layers of the tear films, which is mucus layer, aqueous layer, and lipid layer. As you can see, the mucus layer is secreted by the conjunctival goblet cells and the glands of Mans. It's very clear for all of these. Mucus layer is secreted by conjunctival goblet cells and glands of Mans. Aqueous layer is secreted by the lacrimal gland, accessory and the main both. Lipid layer is secreted by the Moll's, meibomium and Zeiss gland present in the tarsal. Now coming to the functions of mucus layer, it converts the hydrophobic corneal surface to the hydrophilic. And aqueous layer functions it contains salt, water, urea, potassium, and that's what it tastes in. It is salty and taste. It also contains lysozyme, beta lysine, lactoferrin, which have antibacterial action, which prevents from infection. Now coming to the functions of lipid layer, it prevents overflow of tears, retards evaporation, and lubricates the eyelids for the movement. Now coming to the functions of tear film, keeps the eye moist, provides oxygen to the corneal epithelium, washes away toxins and irritants, prevents infection as it is having antibacterial action, facilitated movements of eyelids over the globe. As now going to the secretion and elimination of tears, which is mechanism. Now coming to secretion and elimination of tears, which is mechanism. Secretion is through efferent and efferent nerve supply. As you know, efferent is from eye to the brain, and different from CNS to the eye. So from, as we have saw, sensory part is from trigeminal nerve, and different is from secretomotor supply, as we have seen above. there is basal and reflex action. Basin is by accessory glands. Reflex action is by main lacrimal gland. The glands act whole day continuously and keeps the eye Now coming to the elimination of tears, movement of tears from the lacrimal gland to the nasolacrimal duct. That is, most of the tear is lost by evaporation, as you know. Remaining is collected in the superior and inferior margin strips and collects to the lacus lacrimus in the inner canthus. In inner canthus, as you know, the inferior caniculi, as I said before, 70% is collected by it and 30% is by superior caniculi. It is now this collection is mediated by lacrimal pump mechanism. We'll see about the lacrimal pump mechanism now. Here, as you see, when you close your eyes, as you can see in this picture, B picture, as you close your eyes, there will be contraction of pretarsal orbiculi and contraction of preseptal orbicularis oculi. In pretarsal orbicularis oculi, what will happen means there will be movement of tears from canaliculi into the canaliculi, from the strips, marginal strips to the canaliculi, and then movement of preseptal fibers descend the sac and create negative pressures, and which drains the tear from canaliculi into the sac. Because of negative pressure, the tears will drain from canaliculi into the sac. Now when eyelids are open, there is relaxation of pretarsal orbital tear strips. Collection of tears from into the marginal strips when you open eyes. When you close eyes, there will be drain into the canaliculi by contraction of pretarsal orbicularis, and due to the negative pressure and contraction of preseptal orbicularis oculi and negative pressure, drainage from canaliculi into the in the lacrimal sac, and due to the relaxation of pretarsal and preseptal, there will be drainage of, now especially relaxation of preseptal, there will be drainage of from neck of lacrimal sac to the nasolacrimal duct, and also the gravity acts on it. So the tears drain in nasolacrimal duct. This was the mechanism of the lacrimal. This was the mechanism of tears acting.